How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is the first post-episode live stream. How is everybody doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And it just dawned on me, I didn't have any of my stuff prepared for when I went live, so that's fun. But it's up and running now. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Like I said, it is very early in the morning and a very impromptu stream. Had a little bit of extra time, so I decided to come on to the stream and see how everybody's doing today. If you're out there in the live stream, go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Let me know that you're out there, because unfortunately YouTube has no such thing as a roll call, so I have no idea if you're out there unless you say something. Sven says, perfect timing, 420 stream. Gonna be nice to watch you live, sitting inside burning logs watching the snowfall. Have a good one. Well, Sven, I'm glad you're able to stop by and hang out with us today. Hope you enjoy the live stream. We're gonna wait for a few more minutes just to see who else kind of joins in, and we will get going. So it has been a very, very good morning so far. Got a lot of stuff done. Holy smokes. It was busy, busy. Although, it's kind of been a weird week. It's been a very, very weird week. But we are here on Alma, Missouri, and I am so excited to start this Let's Play series, this live stream. It has been a long time coming. I really thoroughly enjoyed the last live stream, or I'm sorry, the last Let's Play series I did on Maypole Farms. That was an amazing map, and I had an amazing time on it. This one I've been looking forward to for a while. Now, you know what? I'm not even going to get into that just yet. Let's just put it this way. I've been really looking forward to this one. So, like I said, we're going to wait a few more minutes. And like I said earlier, go ahead and give your shout out if you're out there in the stream. Let me know that you're out there, because like I said, YouTube does not let me know. So unless you let me know, I don't know. Let's see. Now let me make sure that everything's looking good on my end. Stream health is excellent. We've got... Let's see. Let's pop out the chat real quick so we can... Nope, that's the wrong button. Pop that out. And then minimize. Perfect. Alright, we got everything up and running. Gonna wait one more minute, see who all joins us, and then we will get going with the stream. Let's see. And I have a lot of dingings going off in my ear because I have somebody texting me. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Alright, so let's go ahead and get going. What do we have going on in the stream today? Well, we got to make money one way or another. We've got some more forestry work to do here, and I'm thinking about taking on a baling contract. We have one baling contract for hay, and you know what? Yeah, I think I talked myself into it. Gonna go ahead and do that real quick, because that'll be a good way to earn some extra cash. Let's go ahead and borrow all the equipment, because we have nothing right now besides that truck and trailer. And let's see what all we got here. We got these things. But you know what? At least we can make the maximum size capacity bales, so that'll work. We're taking it up here to the livestock. So that's right over there. So let's get rocking and rolling on this. One thing I'm trying to do with this series that I normally don't do is I'm trying to do all the work in first-person view. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out for the longevity of the series. Yeah, I'm hoping that I'll be able to handle it. Normally I play in third-person view, and it's very comfortable. This is in an effort to make myself uncomfortable. I don't always play in first-person view. I almost never play in first-person view, but I wanted to have kind of that little bit of immersion to the game. So we're gonna give it a whirl. Gonna see. But like I was saying earlier, I am so excited to be on this map on Alma, Missouri. The reason being is that this scene right here just reminds me so much of where I grew up, and just reminds me of home. Just that strip right there in town is just the picture perfect Americana. You driving down the street, you got the American flags just hanging on little telephone poles and the power poles and all that, and it just reminds me extremely well of where I grew up and whatnot. So it kind of brings back the kind of homesick vibes. But then you get out to here and it's just absolutely gorgeous. You got the nice sweeping rolling hills, the irregular kind of paths. Oh, well, I probably should have looked to where to go first before just kind of diving over here, shouldn't I? Oh, well. Let's see if I can kind of sneak my way through. This way, maybe? Haha, here we go. Now let's go ahead and fold, lower. Oh wait, I need to turn around. I need to turn around. I'm always used to going in, whenever I'm on a field, I'll typically go in a, a clockwise direction. And this way I'm going in a counterclockwise direction. And the reason I do that, specifically with this equipment, because we've got this kind of trailed mower, is that it'll drive out beyond the outskirts of the field while recognizing that you're still in the field. And if you got a decent sized windrower, you can bring all that product that's outside the field in and get a little extra for your troubles. So for one or two passes, I tend to go in this direction and then turn it around and go in the other direction. So let's fold that out, lower it down. I can see it unfolding in the back. And here we go. And as long as we make some gentle turns for the most part, we'll be good to go. I keep turning the camera down for some reason. Instead of just looking down, I keep pitching it down. It's like there's so many like things that I have to get used to. It's almost like relearning to play the game all over again. It's kind of wild playing in first-person view as opposed to third-person. I know where it's going to be a real challenge, especially for me, is going into like the combines and really like having those. Oh. Now it's yelling at me. But having to be able to look out to the very far end, especially with the bigger headers and stuff, that's gonna be something to behold. What I'm also looking forward to is doing the seeding, using the ridge markers and things like that to know where the next one is, where I have to line up and do all that stuff. That's gonna be fun. Normally I don't use that kind of stuff, because you're in third-person view. You can kind of see where you're at and what you have to do. So one of those, it's going to basically be a whole new experience to the game. I love the rolling hills right along the lakeside there. I don't know if that's technically a pond. It's too small to be a lake. But I absolutely love the landscape. Like I said, it just reminds me of home, and it just really kind of brings out the homesick vibes like I was mentioning earlier. Now I'm going to turn around. There we go. So that first pass is good to get that outer border, but then if you turn in the other direction like this, then you can really kind of follow that edge that you made and be good to go. Let's see, we've got Tuck Vortex. It would be cool if you could set up the VR headset and play first person. Oh my goodness, that would be cool, but I could see myself getting sick. I get very, very bad motion sickness. I think the only reason that I'm not getting motion sick going like this is because I can actually see like the outer perimeter of my television. So it's one of those that if this was like right in my face, like I played on VR before, a buddy of mine has it, and had it all set up with one of those Oculus. And after about, I don't know, 10 minutes of playing, I was getting queasy. Like, I had to take them off, and it's like, nope, I'm done with this. It was awesome. Don't get me wrong. It was really cool. Now, I wish that at least the games that I were playing, that they seemed more involved. It seems like one of those where it's very limited right now, but I could see in the future where it's going to be very powerful and going to be a lot of fun. Oop, getting a little... Let's see. And then Tuck also says, how are you doing, by the way? I am doing fantastic today. So like I was mentioning earlier, got so much done this morning. So my father, well, give a little backstory. My wife and I, we use tons and tons of ice. We drink water and stuff all the time, but in order to drink the water, we like our ice. So we go through a ton of it, and we've got an ice maker in our fridge. Well, the ice maker just couldn't keep up with us. So my dad, whenever I'd invite him in to get his mail or anything like that, like, hey, can you bring a bag of ice? You know, we're running low kind of thing. Well, I guess he was getting sick and tired of having to bring ice with him, like bags of ice with him every time he came up to the house. So he ended up buying us an ice maker, a really nice one too. And we decided to install it yesterday because here lately, for the past several days, I haven't been able to work. Something's going on with the company I'm working for, and basically just been on paid leave for the past couple of days. You know, nothing too huge or anything like that. It's just, the systems have been broken for some reason. They put out some kind of update, and it ended up taking out like a good chunk of the system. So one of those where basically my wife and I have been on paid leave for the past couple of days. So as they try and fix the system and get everything all up and running again. Well, we decided, it's like, hey, this would be the perfect opportunity to install the ice maker. We've had it for a few weeks now and just wanted to get it up and running. Well, in order to get the water line out to where we were going to set up, because we ended up deciding to set it up outside, out in our, we've got like a little screen room kind of thing. In Florida, they call them lanais, but it's just a little screen porch kind of thing. Well, we decided to put it out there, and we've got all of our kind of like patio furniture and stuff out there as well. Well, I see, I gotta look with my eyes, not turn my head. I'm struggling with this first person view. I'll get there. But anyways, so as we were setting it up, we have to run, and we've got this little crawl space that we have to get up under to be able to get underneath the house to run lines and stuff. Well, I'm getting up under there, and it's really, really a tight fit to get under there. It's it's not fun. Like, anybody who crawls under houses all day, like, oh my goodness, more power to you, because that's tough. But I'm under there and having to splice together lines. I have to uncouple the first line, and then rethread a new connector to it. And as I'm connecting that, as I'm cutting the line, all the water that was still in the line, because I thought I had drained everything at that point. I didn't drain it well enough, apparently, because all of the water that was trapped in that line all of a sudden just starts spewing everywhere and getting everywhere. It's soaking me. I have nowhere to go. I'm trapped. I'm basically just stuck under where I'm at because I can't move back and I can't like get out of the way quick enough. So I'm like, you know what? I'm already wet. There's no sense in me trying to avoid all the rest of this. So I'm like, all right, well, so I finish, coupling everything, running the line and doing everything I had to do to get it up and running. And now we got ice. We got all sorts of ice and whatnot. Well, while I was under there, it dawned on me, I haven't bled the water heater in a while. And typically about once a year, I like to drain it out to get all the sediment and stuff that comes out from it, because we're on city water where we're at here. And it's really can get nasty. That's what we've installed, like inline filters and all that stuff, and it gets really, really bad. Well, what finally prompted me to remember is that the other day I went to give my daughter a bath, and as we're running the bath, it starts spewing out like a lot of sediment and stuff, and it turned the water like really nasty, kind of like a orangey yellow kind of color. I'm like, ah, and my wife was there too, and she's like, oh, what is that? Like, why is the water doing that? And it's like, I told her it's, because there's excess sediment in the tank, we just got to go and flush it. So we ended up working on the line, we ended up flushing out the tank and all that stuff. So it was good. We got a lot accomplished today. I'm happy with that. There we go. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. So we've got Sven saying, it's oddly satisfying watching small old Kverneland equipment I used to work with Kverneland factory here in Norway. We mainly made large-scale plows for shipping to America. Oh, that's awesome. Well, cool. It's such a small world when, like, I always say this, but it's so amazing doing YouTube and being able to hang out with people, not just from, like, my local area, but all over the world. And, getting to hear stories like that, it was Rusty Farming Gaming, who was telling me how they work for a case manufacturer right now. So you get to hear all these cool stories of where people work and their experiences and whatnot. So that's really cool, being able to hear those things. Like I said, not just from my local area, but all over the world. And hearing that Kverneland, is there in Norway and building stuff for, their distributions here in America. That's cool. That's really cool. Let's see, what else we got there? We got Tuck saying, yeah, I got to get gunk out. Yeah, it was bad. So when we ended up blowing out all the sediment from that heater, wow, that was an absolute nightmare trying to get that done. It was so backed up with junk that it ended up plugging the line, like the outlet line in the garden hose. So I had to sit there and like smush the garden hose like all throughout it just to get all the sediment and junk out. It was wild. I don't know how it actually made it through the outlet pipe to get into the hose. It was wild. But yeah, once everything was done, now we got this big old pile of sediment and junk out in the middle of the yard. I'm gonna have to get the hose and like spray it down to try and even it out, so when the lawn guys come out to do their thing here in the next week or two, they're not gonna run that over and damage their blades. I'd feel bad. All right, I think we're done. All right, so we got this all mowed. Let's pick this up and up, fold, perfect. Now, let's see, I think yes, there it is. That's the way out. But yeah, it was wild to see all that gunk and all that junk that just comes out. Like, it's really weird. The reason I say it's weird is, like I said, we're on city water. So all that stuff's flowing through all the pipes and all that stuff. Like, if I didn't have the filters, if I didn't have all this stuff, like, I'd be drinking that stuff. And I'm sure, like, most of it's, like, lime scale and just junk like that. But to think about it, it's like, ugh. It makes me want to install some kind of, like, I don't know, even, like, a softening system or whatnot. Because my daughter, like I said, she'll take a bath and whatnot. I'll take a shower and she'll be, like, in the tub and she'll be drinking that. Like, I'm not gonna want her to, like, do that anymore because I don't know what that stuff is. Like I said, more than likely, like, lime scale and stuff, and it likely wouldn't hurt her or anything like that. But I don't know, I just don't know. All right, so whoa, yep, that's the other thing that's going to happen in first person. That's something I always found was really cool, is just the attention to detail on this map. So you got the flags, they're waving in the air, but you got all these roadsides, County Road, Marshall. Like I went around one day and just started looking at all the road names and all the signs that were around there, and it's cool. Like those small attention to details that Celebuki put into this map, put into a couple of their other ones. Iowa Plains View, that's another one that Celebuki did. That's a really good map, and I've done a Let's Play series on. This is actually the second Let's Play series I've done from Celebuki, so I'm actually really excited. And that was something else I was getting ready to mention. It came down to this and one other map. It was this map, or it was going to be, what was it called? Carpathian Countryside. That was the other map that was in play for me to play on for the next series. And I'm really excited to be able to do this one, because, like I said, what tipped it over was this town. Ooh, that's going to block out some vision. But this town just really kind of tipped it over for me. It just, like I said, it reminds me of home. Reminds me of where I grew up, and being able to kind of relive through that. You know, my small town that I grew up in, you know, had something similar. It had this main street. It was actually called Main Street, through town, and every year around the 4th of July, around New Year's and stuff, they'd always have the American flag just out in the street and on the telephone poles and all that stuff. And it just, oh no, that's not where I'm going. Not where I'm going at all. But it just reminded me, it's like, oh, you know, just really kind of brought on the feels and the remembrance that I have for that town and whatnot, and always brings back good memories. So it's like, you know what, we're gonna do this one. This kind of tipped it over the top. Let's see. I'll get up to the field here, and then I'll catch up with what everyone's saying. So I need to first windrow all the product. Yeah, need to windrow it so it gets onto the field, and then can go from there. So let's do this. We're going to park this right here. There we go. And then which way does this fold out in? That is so cool. I always get enamored with how equipment like this works. Like, I've said this many times, so I'll say it again here. It's just the engineering side of machinery like this. Helps if I'm on the right equipment. There we go. The engineering side of things, just understanding how this equipment works, is so cool. I'm going to try and ride right on the edge here, because I'm not going to get a lot with this. Yeah, not going to get a lot with this windrower. Oh, and I was going to catch up with the chat. Let's see. Sven says, let me move my mic. It was on the assembly line, those turnable, foldable tail plows. Oh, okay. Never got to see any in use over here because of mainly small farms. Oh, okay. Well, no, that makes sense. Yeah, if you're making them for the American market, they're going to be massive compared to ones in Norway, where if you got mainly smaller farms, smaller fields, be real overkill. Let's see. Tuck says, yeah, I was going to ask what made you choose Alma. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it boiled down to, is just the kind of remembrance and this kind of country feel that this has. I've mentioned this a few times, but my wife and I were trying to scrimp and save to be able to buy a new house. We want to get out of the area that we're in. We're kind of, well, some people in the city would look at this look at the place I'm at and be like, "Oh, you're out in the sticks," and other people would be like where I grew up, I'd be like, "No, this is the city. I hate it," kind of thing. I don't want to be in the city anymore, and I've had so many people who like are in the actual city, like, oh man, you got, you know, all this property, you got this, that, and the other. You know, this is awesome kind of thing. It's like, no, it's nice, but I grew up on a 300-acre farm until I was 8 years old, and then after that moved to a 12-acre ranch home, and now I'm on, you know, half an acre in what I call the city. You know, I'd like to be able to get out and get a couple of acres and, you know, have a place outside of where I'm at now to raise my kids, kind of thing. I mean, from my kitchen window, I can see my neighbor's living room, kind of thing. Like I could look in and see them watching television if I was that kind of weirdo. And I don't like it. I don't like it. So we're trying to do what we can to get a little bit more space. And one of those where this just kind of reminded me of that. Just kind of brings on those same feelings and those same kind of remembrances. Now I can, unfortunately, not really going to get much in the way of this kind of outer. You know what? Let's try. Let's just try and pull this in, because it'd be a real shame if I had to leave this. Yeah, there's going to be spots where it's not going to pull in. Mainly it's going to be areas where, let's see if I can kind of ride the edge. No, it doesn't seem like we're pulling. Oh no, we're pulling it in just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's all we need is just, oh, come on. Just need to get this stuff as much as we can, because if we can get this, like, you'd be surprised on just how much this outer periphery stuff adds up. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're pulling it in. We're getting there. So yeah, it's like I said, it's one of those that I'd love to stay in the state that we're in, but I'm not sure that we're going to be able to afford the state that we're in, because property is getting expensive around here. I mean, it's getting expensive everywhere. But, yeah, I'm looking, and I'm finding places that are still expensive, but for what you get, it just makes sense. You know, we're looking, like I said, we're looking to stay in Florida, but I'm started looking in places like Arkansas, West Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, like all over. Like pretty much everywhere is fair game now. Because it's just one of those that we want to get out and provide a better place and a better life for our kids. And that's what it boils down to, is they're what's important. All right, let me catch up with the chat. Oh, hey. Acme's disappearing, reappearing ink. Now, who can name that line? Who can name that movie right there? Acme's disappearing, reappearing ink. It's a classic. It's honestly one of my favorite movies growing up, from when I was a kid. Even though it was one of those movies that when I was a kid scared the bejeebers out of me for one particular scene too. It was right there at the very end. It was kind of nightmare fuel for kids. Let's see. Sven says, there's a lot of issues with clay water. My town just had a sensor failure, and the pH adjusted went crazy. People ended up getting skin damage. Wow. Wow, that's a big deal. The answer is not New Jersey. Yeah, no. New Jersey is not on the books for the ways for destinations to move. Like I said, it's going to be somewhere in the south. My father, he's getting up in age, and the cold really bothers him. So it's one of those that we want him to come along with us because, like I've mentioned this before, my mother passed several years ago. So we want him to be around. We want him to be around for our kids and whatnot. And my daughter absolutely adores him, just loves her paw. So she wants, well, we want him to be around for her and around just in general, kind of thing. So uh, New Jersey's still a little bit further north than what we're wanting, and not really looking to be that close to Jersey, New York, and uh, that kind of general area. So really looking in the Carolinas, the Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, uh, Alabama, Mississippi, like kind of that whole southern portion of the states. Like I said, Florida's where we want to stay. That's where we want to be, um, because we got family around here, but we want to move further north into Florida, um, and be further away from the coast because we're not too far away from the coast, and we're technically a part of the floodplains where we're assigned a what's called a letter group, to where if a hurricane comes through and the hurricane's like a Cat 5, it could potentially get up to us, but we're in the furthest part of the flooding plains, so it's not something that would likely happen. It would have to be a hurricane of biblical proportion, and it would have to hit us in such a spectacular way that we're basically going to be hosed no matter what. But we'd like to get a little bit further inland and a bit further north if we were to stay in Florida. But again, it's one of those, can we afford it? That's ultimately what's going to drive everything. And what also is making us look outside of the state of Florida. Because like I said, unfortunately, things are expensive around here. You can for what we're looking for, it's gonna be difficult to find in anything less than like the threes. There we go. Now we got everything kind of pulled in. Let's keep pulling it in because I think like one or two more round trips, then we can kind of set the worker off and make good rows. Oops, 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 oops. It helps if I have it lowered. There we go. Let's see. Kentucky is nice. Yes, Kentucky is a beautiful state. I was actually just in Tennessee a couple of months ago, and that's also a beautiful state. But Kentucky, um, one of our, well, he's not technically family, but he is family. Um, Essentially brother-in-law kind of deal. He was from Kentucky originally, and he was from an area called Danville, and very very nice, lovely town. Actually, when the company I work for now, when we were before we got bought out many years ago, we had a office in the city of Danville, and he actually that's where he started working for the company, and how he kind of came into the family. Is he was working for the company there, and then they ended up closing that location down. He ended up moving here to Florida because he developed a long distance relationship with my sister-in-law. Well, he ended up moving here, and as part to be closer, as well as to continue having a job, and yeah, just kind of worked out nicely from there. But I ended up having to go to Danville many times, and in the subsequent areas around there. Um, what is it? Not is it Knoxville? No, that's Tennessee. What am I saying? Lexington. That's it, Lexington. Um, that's a nice little town there, and We ended up doing a lot of ins and outs there in town, you know, because whenever I go into town, everybody's so nice around there too. Whenever I come into town, everybody wanted to take me out and, you know, take me out to dinner and have some drinks and just have a good old time. It was really, really nice. Super, super nice people there, and, you know, one of those, it'd be nice to be able to find a place there to kind of call home. So yeah, just one of those. Got to see what we can come up with and what we can do. Let's see, kind of cut it around. There we go. Now I think from here we'll be able to start heading and doing automatic rows. I'm definitely going to hire a worker for this because they can do a much better job than I can to keep the roads just in that nice straight path to where I'm not going to make it an absolute nightmare for the pickup portion. I have got to get used to this first person view. It is so bad. So bad. Alright, so something like that, and then boop. There we go. Perfect. Now I can catch up with what everyone's saying. Jody! Hey, bud, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day so far. Jody says hi, and Smoky Mountains, Tennessee is a good place to live. Oh, yes, absolutely. That's actually where we were just at vacationing. Was up in the Smokies. It's absolutely gorgeous up there. I'd love to be able to afford a place up there, but there's so many houses and so many of those like cabin rental places and whatnot that it drives the price of those places way up. So again, not sure if that's going to be viable, but one of those, we'll see. You know, if something comes along, and here's the thing too, and I'm pretty handy. So I'm not afraid of buying a fixer-upper for the most part. I mean, it's not going to be like some kind of, you know, got to restart from the ground up kind of thing. But I'm not afraid of rolling up my sleeves and doing a bunch of stuff. I mean, for the house that we live in now, I've done so much. Basically, I renovated every single room in this house. Ripped out the entire spare bathroom. It was really wild too. So when we first bought the house, it had a gnarly tub that was so wild. So the tub itself, it was incredibly shallow. Like I would have a hard time saying that it was even built for children, but it was incredibly shallow, and it was a huge step up. So it was a normal sized tub if you were looking at it from the outside, but when you would go into it, you would have to step every bit of a foot up in order to be able to stand into it. It was wild, and it made the height of the shower very tall. And I'm 6'2", 6'3" ish, and I would almost hit my head on the ceiling. That's how high up in the air. You know, so essentially, if I was standing on it, I was basically 7 feet tall compared to somebody that was standing on the ground, kind of thing. It was wild. It was absolutely wild. And then the person who owned the house before us built in this little cabinet, but instead of having the cabinet door like over the sink or something like that, they had it in the shower. And the cabinet door itself, they actually put in this kind of water sealant, like a gasket around the outer edge of the door to prevent the water, as it would splash from the shower, from getting into the cabinet. It was the most wild setup I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like this before. And I completely ripped out that door, refaced the cabinet, and then turned the door over top of the sink so that it actually made sense and wasn't going to get water in it. It was just wild. It was the wildest setup I've ever seen in that bathroom. But I ended up ripping out the entire tub. It was a good thing too, because there was a water pipe in the back. It was one of those copper pipes. It had a little pinprick hole in the pipe, and it was shooting out into the wall. So I ended up having to recut that pipe out and resplice a new pipe. It was just, it was a trip. It was an absolute trip getting that thing back up and running. But I ended up installing and building a whole new stand-up walk-in shower for the spare bathroom. Put in a new set of cabinets, a new sink, new mirror, new toilet, because it had one of the round toilets, the real small round toilets. Me personally, I prefer the elongated one, so I threw that in there. I ended up doing a complete remodel in the master bathroom as well. Ended up, for that one, it had a walk-in shower, but it was one of those like plastic walk-in shower kind of things, where the person who installed it didn't put in the pan right, the drain pan, and there was tons of flex in the pan. They didn't put in a base like you're supposed to do with those pans. They just kind of left it. So ripped that all out. And actually, at that time, I was very big. I was over 500 pounds at that time. And I ended up breaking the pan. And that's what prompted me to start the renovations of this place. You know, tours before, I was working on things, but it was a much slower pace. Obviously, I was 500 pounds, so didn't have the stamina like I do now. And once that broke, I'm like, you know what? We're done with this. We're done with dealing with this stuff. We've got to do something. So ripped out the shower, ended up putting in in the spare bathroom, put in new floors, not tile, but the adhesive vinyl tiles, so it looks like kind of wood planking. It looks really sharp. In the master bath, we ended up ripping out the shower. We put in a jetted tub because I wanted something nice for my wife. She loves to take baths and stuff, so wanted her to have something nice. So I ended up spending the extra money to get a jetted tub, installed that, and because we pretty much ripped out everything in there, I built a whole new closet, because we just had the small master bedroom closet. It just a little bifold door closet. We wanted something where we could put towels and stuff, so I ended up making a little bifold closet there. It was like a single pane bifold to put shelves and stuff, so we had places for towels and linens and stuff. Tiled up the shower wall, installed a permanent round bar for the shower there, put in a counter to ceiling mirror in the back behind the main sink there, so that turned out really good, and ended up bordering it with some picture frame border. Turned out really nice. That looked really sharp. So now it's got like a giant mirror. So yeah, it just tons and tons of work went into this house, and because I did it all myself, it made it relatively inexpensive. I was considering hiring people to do this, even though I've got the knowledge. I could do it, but at the time I was 500 pounds. Like I said, it was just one of those that it was going to be a long, slow, arduous process because I just wasn't in shape to do it. Well, shortly thereafter too, worked out where the company I was working for, they offered the gastric bypass on the insurance that we had. So I went on that year-long journey to do the gastric bypass, and it just helped out just significantly more doing it, being able to do it while I was in better shape, and we were able to slam through and get all that stuff done. And then we completely renovated the rest of the house, put new flooring, new carpeting in the bedrooms. Yeah, just lots and lots of work went into it, but we did it, and we did a great job. I'm pretty happy with it. Jody says, good day, awesome. How's your wife's pregnancy going? She's going fantastic. Actually, she's out and about right now. She ended up taking our daughter to meet with her sister-in-law and her kids. So having a little play date. They all went to the park, and they're out and about having some fun. Like I said earlier, I was working on stuff at the house, so I decided to stay here and work on this, and then once I got everything all done and went together a lot faster than I was expecting it to, was able to hop on here and do a stream. But most likely going to have to hop off probably in about an hour-ish once they come home. Because I'm going to have to help, make some lunch for the kid and put her down for a nap and whatnot. So might be hopping back on for a little while. So it might be up and down throughout the day kind of thing. So one of those, we'll see how things go, but definitely expecting to hop back on later tonight, around 9:30 Eastern is what I'm expecting to be able to do. We'll see how things go, but yeah, no, so far going good. It's going really, really good. Jody says, love working on my house. You know what? I do too. I love being able to do those. Well, let me rephrase that. I love doing things that are cosmetic, to kind of make it look nice and to function properly. But what the jobs I hate doing are the ones where it's an emergency that it has to be done kind of thing. So like a pipe bursts or things like that, because it's just the stress that's involved. Doing the work isn't an issue. It's doing the work without the stress. Like, oh man, something broke, so now I've got to scramble to fix it because it's something that's vitally important kind of thing. Especially down here in Florida, like perfect example. Was it last year or the year? I think it was the year before last, the summer before last. So not this past summer, but the summer before that. Our air conditioner went out. Our air conditioner ended up blowing a line. It was blowing hot air, and Florida in the summertime, that's the worst possible time that you can have your AC go, kind of thing. So we ended up having we have a friend who's an AC repair tech, and he ended up coming over and helping out. And it was a really old unit, probably about 15, 20 years old. But it was a monster of a unit. It was, what was that, I think a 4-ton unit? And it was an absolute beast, this thing. And he found where the hole was, wasn't a big deal, and he ended up brazing it. It was in one of the copper lines. He brazed the line in order to seal it. Well, we ended up running it for a little bit, about, I don't know, an hour after he leaves, and all of a sudden, boom, blowing hot air, and everything eventually just shuts down. Like the whole thing. Blower turns off the whole 9 yards. I go out there and pretty much it blew a different portion of the line, and then it blew the entire system. Like everything failed at that point. So it was one of those, oh man, well now we got to scramble to figure out, what to do. Well, my office is an addition to the rest of the house, so it isn't connected to the heating and cooling system that the main portion of the house is connected to. So we basically moved everybody out. At the time, my daughter was about 1, I think. Yeah, this would have been last year, so she would have been about 1-ish. So we had to move her crib out there. We moved our bed out there into my office. Because it had its own cooling system, so we were able to cool down everything in there. And then we were just basically sleeping out there for like a week before we could, get people to come out and take a look at buying new air conditioner and all that stuff. But just trying to scramble to do all that stuff, and it was just an absolute nightmare. And it's a nightmare whenever you have to do anything like that in a scramble, full sentence stop. So yeah, not fun at all. We got, let's see. Jody says, I like the series you're doing on this map. You know what? I was saying this earlier. I'm so excited to be on this map. I absolutely loved the Maypole Farms series. I had so much fun doing that one. But as I was mentioning earlier, this map, for some reason, and it's the town, it just really reminds me of home. It reminds me of where I grew up. And it was just really, it was the deciding factor as to what made me move to this map, because it was between this and Carpathian Countryside. And anybody who's followed the channel for a long enough time knows that I'm a details kind of person. I love seeing the little details. And I was talking earlier about how you could walk through the main town there and you see the flags kind of waving on the light poles and the power poles and stuff like that. And you also see the um, the streets, and you get to read the street names. Like we saw County Road, and what was the other one? Well, was it Mason? I can't remember. Anyways, uh, you see the street signs. You see just all those little attention to details that the map maker puts in. You saw those same things in Maypole Farm, to where that it was like a different attention to detail on Maypole Farm, because that one, it was the attention to the uh, what's it's the attention to the gameplay detail. And what I mean by that is that map is so modular and is able to be customized and made into whatever you want it to be. Um, to where this map is a little bit more rigid. Like, you have the ability to make pretty much any map what it is that you want it to be, but Maypole Farm is like to the next level, because you can take out the hedges, you can take out, the fencing, you can take out the stoneworks, and just doing all those different things allows you to do that. You can buy certain components of the farm, or you can buy one portion of a farm, but you don't have to buy the rest of it. Which makes it cheaper, where you can just kind of build and build and build, as opposed to having to have massive amounts of money and then you just slam it in there and you're done, kind of thing. So it's just one of those. It's really cool. It's really cool. But this one just was kind of this nostalgia factor for me. That's what made me kind of move to here. And it's a really awesome map. It's a really gorgeous looking map, and it's going to provide a lot of challenges. Challenge number one, we're in first person view. Like I said, I'm trying something new with this series, to be able to do everything in first person view. And it's going to get difficult. When I try and harvest in first person view, that's where I'm going to struggle. I know it's going to be a struggle for me. I'm going to have to figure out how to manage that. I'm going to have to use ridge markers on the cedars and planters. Going to have to remember to do that. Doing all those kind of things that I'm going to have to kind of get used to. It's going to be tough. It's going to be, different, but I'm looking forward to it. On top of that, kind of doing the quote unquote start from scratch. I had like a couple of $100 in the account. I have a truck and a chainsaw. That was it. So kind of starting from scratch and going from that point on is going to be, again, another struggle. And I'm looking forward to being able to do that. We were getting to the point in Maypole Farm where I had mentioned it in the episode, where we were in the gluttony phase, where we weren't needing anything. We weren't struggling. There was nothing we had to fight for anymore. It was all just, we had such excess of cash, of products, and all that stuff, that I could basically buy whatever I wanted when I wanted. I could have gone on like a drunken sailor buying spree, and wouldn't even have been phased. So one of those that it was time to let Maypole Farms run its course and come somewhere new. And it was, like I said, it was either down to Alma or Carpathian Countryside. And Alma obviously won that bet. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to start something new, have a little bit of a struggle again to try and get through and build something. One thing I'm going to show, let's see, there's the main road. The way that this map is designed, I wasn't able to cleanly bring the kind of gameplay that I wanted, because I eventually wanted to start at the, what I had, which is this kind of forest area. This is all I have, is this forest area down this road here. That's a long driveway. Yeah, I wanted to start with just this kind of forest area here and tear this all down. But then I wanted to eventually build and move to the farm here, to this farm in particular. The problem is that I couldn't just sell the farm. I couldn't just sell it. I had to destroy the entire farm in order to sell the property. So I basically tore everything out. I made roads into, I left the roads so we had ways to get into the various fields and all that stuff. But I basically just left it an open property. I put down some grass and stuff to be able to make it look like like an open meadow kind of thing. I had to fix this area here because they had this kind of slurry collection tank here, and there was a giant hole, a giant crater. I had to fix all that. So yeah, it was just one of those that I basically had to blow this out, and I'm gonna eventually, I want to build something. I want to build an entire farm. That's going to be the goal of this series, is to build a farm, build up all the pens and pastures, and I'm going to use a specific set, a specific farm set, and I'm really looking forward to that, to using that set. I, I'm not going to go into details of which set, but just, it's one of those that I've been wanting a place that I could use it for a very, very long time, and haven't had the map with the capacity to do it until now. This is the first map where I'm going to have enough open area to be able to develop it in the way that I want to develop it. And it's going to be one of those where I'm going to show one of my weaknesses in the kind of creative design process. That's kind of why I left everything kind of the way it was there at the farm, is it's going to make it a little bit easier to build it up while not having to worry about making it look pretty at the same time, kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes. We'll kind of go from there, but let me catch up with the chat because I'm kind of falling behind here. Jody says this is a really good map, 100%. Benji, hey, how's it going? Nanu. How you doing, bud? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Jody says, I had to replace my own kitchen one time in my house. Oh, wow. Yeah, the same here. Basically tore everything out of the kitchen as well. Basically, there's not a single room in this house that I haven't touched. Not a single one. And it's been years. And you asked about my wife. How's your wife doing with her pregnancy, by the way? I meant to throw that in there as well. Jody says, my wife can't go to the baby doctor coming... can't? Well, hopefully everything's going okay so far. Benji says, good morning, everyone. A cup of coffee. Good morning, Benji. Jody says, I want to make the map. Make this map with great deal. I want to make the map. Sorry, but I'm not understanding that last one there. If you could help me out with that one. And then I love doing fast harvest on this. Oh yeah, this would be an amazing map for a fast harvester. In one capacity or another, whether it's like the Reaper or anything along those lines, anything fast farming, because just the way everything's designed. I mean, if we take a look at the map itself, I mean, there's some fields on here, like what is it, 22 here. This field is massive, and you have to like just kind of just completely go around. Like, this is going to be a wild one to harvest. And I looked at a contract for it, $60,000 to harvest this one. Check that out. It has canola in it right now. For 60 grand, you can harvest this. That's a massive, massive harvesting contract. And it's 83 acres. That is huge. That's a massive field. I would love to eventually buy that field. Look at that. $900,000 for that one field. I would love to be able to buy that and make that my own. But we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Because what I think, like I said, my eventual goal is to buy this farm back for $620,000. So we're going to have a bit of a struggle there. But once we buy that farm, we'll be able to have access to these two fields, which will be nice. But we'll then, eventually I think I'll buy all these fields around here, and then I'll have all this property right along here. I think that'd be really cool, is to basically have all of these. And we're talking, what is this? We're talking 44 grand, 500. So we're talking 600,000 there, 1.1-ish million. We got 1.3 million, 1.4, 1.5-ish. And yeah, so we're talking about over $2 million just in property to buy this whole section here. I think that'd be cool. If we had all that stuff, all that property, that'd be, But it's just going to take time. It's going to, take work. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of work. But I'm looking forward to doing it because, like I said, this is just an awesome map. Just by itself is an awesome map. It's got so many aesthetic appeals that are just awesome. Like you just see the kind of stuff in the background, the kind of mega silos back there. Like that's just really cool, really cool. And then you take into account all the extras and the details are put into this map. You've got the corn dryer, all the custom stuff that Celebuki does. You got the, not that one, is it the pizza shop that's right here? Yeah, the pizza shop that's here. You got the bakery, all the custom products, the dairy. Over here, I think, is the grain mill, and then you got the corn dryer. You've got, come on, no, that's the railroad storage, so we can send stuff out to what was the town name? Sedalia? Yeah, Sedalia. We can send stuff to them. We've got methane selling. We've got popcorn factories, ketchup production. Like, we've got so much stuff that we can do. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, and then there's other stuff that we can do too. I mean, this is one of those maps where you could get lost in all the different stuff that you can build, all the different stuff that you can do, and just really get lost in making it your own kind of thing. Just absolutely spectacular map, and really am looking forward to this series. Let's see. Jody says the pregnancy is going real good. She's got to go to the baby doctor this Tuesday. The one that made Alma, Missouri map, he makes real good. Yes, Celebuki. Yes, Celebuki makes amazing maps. This one, Iowa Plainsview, and I believe Celebuki also made a version of Goldcrest Valley, I think is the other map that they made. And yeah, every single one is spectacular. I really love Celebuki's version of Goldcrest Valley because they ended up utilizing the town that really kind of makes sense for a lot of these production points here. You got the pizza factory there. You got all the same stuff that you have on this map, but you've got that kind of Goldcrest Valley look and feel, and it's awesome. It's absolutely stellar. Just the layout, and it just makes more sense than the other version. To me, it makes more sense personally. It makes more sense than is it Puma? I think it's Puma that made the other version. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that. And don't get me wrong, I like Puma's version too, if that is who made it. I like their version too, but I think Celebuki is just that step above that other version because of all the additions, all the popcorn factory, the pizza factory, all those additional things that kind of utilized FS22 to its fullest capacity, to where the other version I just feel like is a newer graphical version from FS19. So it's again one of those, I think it's a lovely map, and I think they did a really good job with it. But it's one of those that I'm playing FS22 and I want to have those kind of things available to me. And I know I could build it myself, I can put things down myself, but not to that degree. I can't make a factory. Like I can make a factory and I can put down a factory kind of thing, but it's that specific mod and I have to have a new location. I can't build it in the town kind of thing. I have to be able to put it in like its own building on its own property and stuff, and I can't include it in the kind of main thoroughfare that's there. So that's one thing that I really enjoyed about Celebuki's version as opposed to the other. And kind of the same thing goes with like Westbridge Hills and Zero Ito's version versus the other version that's out there. The version that Zero Ito put out has that same kind of feel where they basically took all the areas and built them up with the productions, with all that stuff, and made it feel like it's a part of FS22, to where the other version again is like FS19, and just really kind of makes me feel like I'm stepping backwards in time as opposed to bringing it up to the FS22 version. It's just kind of how I think about it and how I kind of rationalize it in my head. But yeah, Celebuki, 100% makes amazing maps. One of the top map makers out there, in my opinion. Let's see. Eli, how's it going? Eli says hi. Hope you're having a fantastic. Well, yeah, we're still in the morning. We're still in the morning. Hope you're having a fantastic morning so far. We are having a impromptu stream here. Got a lot done this morning, but the missus took the kid out, and they're out and about having some fun. I had to stay home and get some work done. But while we have a little bit of downtime, let me go ahead and give my shout outs like I need to. So Mark K, thank you so much for being a tier 2 member to the channel. Greatly appreciate you. And you are it as of right now. Again, if you want to become a member of the channel and earn access to the perks that we have available to you, let's go ahead and check out the join button down below. Or actually, no, not join button down below. Sorry about that. The link down in the description below. Or on the main channel page, there's the join button. You can gain access to things such as edited wow, it's going to be one of those days, isn't it? You can gain access to early... Wow. Take a moment. Gather our thoughts. One more time. We ready for this? You can gain access for early access to edited content such as the Let's Play series, like what we're doing here in Alma, or you can gain access to the channel shorts, early access to those as well. You can also get access to custom emojis, custom badges, and that all starts for our tier 1 members at 99 cents a month. You can also gain access to what you just heard here, the shout outs at every single live stream that we do for our channel member tier 2s. And that starts at $4.99 a month. You can also do single donations if you want. You don't have to become a member and sign up for that month to month. You can do that doing super stickers or super chats here on the live streams. Or you can just hang out and have some fun like we're doing here. Greatly appreciate every single one of you out there. I really genuinely do. It's just so much fun to come out here and hang out and do what we're doing here. Let's go ahead and just turn off, nope, there we go, turn off the automatic because we can just finish this off real fast. Something like that maybe. All right, now fold all that away. Here, let's tuck this back in here. I don't have to take this with me. Oh dear, wrong button, wrong button, wrong button. Ah, don't go in the lake. We almost had a catastrophe. Holy smokes. Oh my goodness. All right, now let's get this tether here. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, crud. It just dawned on me. This is gonna... Oh, no. Oh, I went through all that effort to pull all this in, and I didn't... Why did it not dawn on me? The tether here is gonna flake everything out. It's gonna... Yeah, it's going to spread out all these windrows that I've done. Oh, no. Oh, no. What was I thinking? Why do I keep pushing the button? Stop pushing buttons. Well, that's rather frustrating. Let's see. Here, I want to get that little bit right there. Alright, well, hopefully I can get to that windrower again. Oh, that is so frustrating. Why did I do that? Ah, goodness. Let's see. So let's catch up with the chat here real quick. Let's see. So Jody says schedule a top 10 update list. Oh yes, so that's going to be on the to-do list here before too much longer, because I feel like we're starting to run its course with FS22 and we're getting ready for FS25 or whatever they're going to call the next one. So it's going to be something that we're going to want to kind of throw in and do another top 10 maps list. This is definitely going to be in the top 10. Definitely going to be in top 10 territory. But let's see. We got Eli. It's going it's going good. I pretty much just woke up though. Oof, hey, more power to you. Wish I could say that, but I had to, like I said, I had to get a bunch of stuff done this morning. And having a 2-year-old, you don't get a whole heck of a lot of sleep. Well, you know what? That's not true. That's not true. My little girl, she's absolutely amazing. She very rarely does she not let us actually get a decent night's sleep. And really where I kind of struggle when it comes to good night's rest is my own doing, because we work here on the channel. So because we're doing all the work here on the channel, one of those that I basically work when she's asleep. So I don't tend to sleep when I probably should and work when I shouldn't. But it's okay because I have a lot of fun doing this, so it makes it worth it. Let's see. Get to the end of this row here, and I'm so disappointed with why I did that. I might. Should I? You know what? How much is a windrower? How much is it to lease one? That'd be a little bit bigger. So we got what? Which one do we have right now? Wait a minute. What's going on? Oh, it's this one. 3.5? Oh, it's from the Hayden Forge. That's why I didn't recognize it. Okay. So 3.5 meters. I mean, we could get this one. How much does this be to lease? $2 grand. Oh, we could do this one. This would be way cheaper. $1,000? Okay. You know what? No. I don't know. Let me think about it. Or you know what? Hold on. One more look. See. Windrowers. I could do one of these. For $2 grand. I could do this one. Put it on the front. That might be a better option. Then I could just go get the baler and just bail. Let me think about it. Because I don't want to just throw money at it, because right now we don't have a lot of money to throw at it. Alright, so let me catch up. Let's see. Jody says, I believe it's going to be FS25. They say it's going to be a real good version. You know what? I honestly think that FS25 is probably going to be miles above what FS22 is. And here's why I think that. So FS22 was the first time where Giants kind of did everything beginning to end. They did the cinematics, they did pretty much everything. They didn't outsource anything, at least from what I understand and how I understand it to be. This was the first time they didn't outsource anything. And there's going to be a lot of struggles and growing pains, and we all experienced that with all the various updates and all the stuff that came out after the fact, day one updates, things like that. It was just one of those, that was going to be kind of what happened. It was kind of baked into the cake, at least in my opinion. But all those things, like, they should be able to learn and grow from those issues and those mistakes that they had from this year, and be able to use this as kind of the backbone for next year's game for the most part. hopefully they don't do like what EA does and just take everything that they had from the year before, tweak one or two small things, and then rebrand it as a new game kind of thing. Hopefully they don't do something like that. But they at bare minimum have the capacity to be able to, you know, use a lot of things that they have from this and build upon it. So that's something that I think is going to make FS25 just that much better, is the ability to be able to, you know, utilize this as kind of the start point kind of thing, if that makes sense. Yeah, the more and more I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to get one of those windrowers and just kind of make it a little easier on myself. You know, for $1,000, I can justify spending $1,000, and I'm going to get a decent amount from this contract, you know, over and above. So I think we'll be okay. There we go. We're just going to keep on keeping on. Oh, let's get that little bit right here. And then, perfect. Look at that. Yep, working out good so far. All right. Is that... Now let's go ahead and head back to the shop there. I'll lease out that windrower and kind of go from there. Oh, wait, did I miss? Oh, I missed a lot. Holy smokes. What happened here? Make sure I didn't miss anything else. No, pretty much just that chunk there. I don't know what happened there. That's the only thing about doing things in first-person view, is that you do not have the convenience of third-person view where you can really kind of see everything and how it's going. Like, you're basically just having to guess. I mean, I've got the mirrors and you can kind of see things with the mirrors, but not great, as you can see. Like, you can make out small details, but I definitely miss third-person view. I will tell you that right now. This is definitely going to be a struggle, especially where it's going to be a real struggle is when we start using high loaders and stuff like that. When we use the telehandlers and front-end loaders, that's where it's going to be a real struggle for me, is trying to learn how to do all that in cab is going to be, yeah, that's going to be fun. So if you're looking forward to seeing Big Daddy Dave make a whole bunch of boo-boos and errors and have a struggle fest going on, then stay tuned. Stay tuned to the channel and watch the Let's Play series, because that's basically what this is going to be about. This is going to be Dave just kind of, you know, scratching his head and trying to figure things out as he goes. But like I was saying earlier, the details in this small town are just amazing. You got all these street names. You know, County Road, you got, what does that say, Lincoln? Let me go on this side where the leaves aren't in the way. Lincoln. You've got the next street over, which I thought was Mason. Was it Mason? Marshall. Marshall. You got the people walking through. You've got the various different elements on it, like the corn dryer, like I mentioned earlier, the grain mill. Like all these kind of really nice elements that are just all throughout this map. All right, let's go ahead and lease that windrower, because it's just making me sick thinking of reestablishing that that windrower. All right, let's get this. There we go. All right, real quick, let's see what everyone's saying. We'll go from there. So we've got, let's see, Sven saying, if you rent helper on long side of the field, it will, I think it will be a bit faster doing, yes, less churning. So you're absolutely right with that, Sven. I probably should have gone in the other direction. Just kind of spaced out there for a second, I guess. Jody says, I love the survival challenge and trying to do one. Ah, nice. It's one of those. I was really wanting to do kind of something like this, where it was the kind of survivor, uh, start from scratch kind of element. Oh, hey, there's a car. That was the whole point of stopping and looking both ways. There we go. I've been wanting to do that for a while, and I was considering doing a forestry map. I was actually considering. So there was a third map that was in play, but that. Whoa, there's a car. That's not very nice, people. You got the stop sign, not me. I was considering doing one of the. Oh my goodness, why is his name slipping my mind right now? Uh, did the maps like Piney Run. Why can't I remember his name? Did the, what was it, Black Mountain, Montana. Did Poor Boy. That's it, Poor Boy. Was considering doing one of their maps because of all the stuff that they have on their maps, kind of similar to this, where there's a bunch of custom elements and stuff like that. And I was thinking about it, and it's like, no, I'm not gonna go through that kind of map. I really wanted to kind of do this one, so that's kind of what made me land on this. So let's go ahead and open this. This isn't a big windrower, but it's enough. Let's see, down. Bale size 180 because we can make it big size. I might even be able to pull in some of the outskirts too. No, I want to make hay bales. The only problem with this is it's grass on the outskirts and not hay. Even though it's going to bring it in, I don't want it to change it to grass and then completely whiff on the contract. So let's see. Alright, so it's still hay, so that's good. And it is collecting, so that's good. We're not leaving product behind, which is what I was really not wanting to do. Now, one thing that I'm going to have to be mindful of on this is where I'm dumping these off, because these are round bales. I don't want them to go rolling off into the distance or down into that pond right there. That would be awful. Just absolutely devastating. Because we're not going to get tons and tons of bales, especially because I'm making the biggest bale size. Okay, well, I think we can now set our sights on actually there we go, something like this. Let's see. Do I want to do auto unload? Yeah, let's try it. Just gonna have to be very, very careful to not lose my bales. I am missing it. I'm missing a bunch. What? 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 Alright. some reason I thought I was over far enough, but I guess I wasn't. Oh, gotta slow it down. Oh, 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 there we go. Let's see, where's the other bale? Behind my pillar, isn't it? Yep, there it is. Just saw it pop out there. Just a second. Let's see. So we've got... where did I... There we go. Jody says, yes, Giants did everything for FS22. Nice, I was right about that. Jody says, I'm looking for Big Daddy Dave having... having a lot of boo-boos. Yes, that is definitely going to happen, bud. Definitely going to happen. Love to see Giants make a real good American-based come out in the next one. I would love to see that too. I really enjoyed Elm Creek. I thought that they did a really good job with that for the most part. There's certain elements that I wish that Giants would kind of steer away from, though. One of my biggest issue with Giants maps is that there's always huge chunks of the map that you cannot purchase. And because you can't purchase them, you can't do anything with it. And the worst part about it, now see, this is going to be, this is where I'm nervous. Okay, well, I'll take that as a win. See, I've got to get better about utilizing third person. I need to get out of the tractor to be able to see things. I struggle so hard with not using third person. Let's see, there we go. There we go. And Benji says Mason County is a gorgeous... Yes, Mason County is a gorgeous map. That was the other one that was going to be up there. Was Mason County, was it Black Mountain, Montana? There's so many that Poor Boy does that are really, really solid maps. And they utilize that whole kind of similar feature like that's here. They use the custom production points and all that stuff that makes a map just really come alive, in my opinion. It just makes it to where you have far more options right off the bat, as opposed to, you know, just kind of base game stuff. Let's see if I can pick up this little bit here. Yeah, just a little bit. There we go. Cool. Now we'll start kind of our sweep through. Except I'm missing a whole bunch. Oh, and jackknife. All right, there we go. Oh, brakes. Okay. Stay. That bale is going to listen to me about as good as my dogs listen to me. Which is to say, not at all. Goodness. There we go. Thought I saw like a little chunk. There we go. Oh, man, I missed that big one. if I can. There we go. Drive by it without hitting the bale. There we go. Now we're talking. And we got... There we go. Perfect. Okay, so far we're doing okay. So far we're getting there. Sven says, it got easier for me when I turned the map on HUD and increased eyesight width in options. Ooh, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I should check that out. There we go. Perfect. All right, well, we're getting there. We are gonna, like I said, we're gonna struggle. We're gonna go through some hard times, but we'll eventually get there. And I think at the end, I'm gonna be better for doing this, being able to kind of pick and choose how I want to approach, you know, certain maps or whatnot. It's one of those, just like anybody, I'm not a huge fan of change and swapping things out like we did here. But I'm also not afraid to make myself uncomfortable and try to do new things. So that's kind of the whole premise behind this, is just to force myself into trying something new, as well as just kind of give a new perspective on the Let's Play series itself. I just thought that might be something cool, and we'll kind of see how it goes. We'll see how people take to it and whatnot. Let's see. Jody says, Giants did a good job in Silver Run. Yes, Silver Run Forest was an amazing map. They did a really good job. Now, what I would love to see in FS22 is the concepts that that Silver Run Forest brought to FS22. I just bumped into it, didn't I? Okay, nope, it's there. It's fine. The concepts that they brought to FS22 on Silver Run, the building the roller coaster, the building the boats, I would love for that to be a permanent fixture in the production process. So, like what you get now if you have the premium expansion, I think it's here. Their productions, that's all platinum. There's premium. You now have, where is it? That's bakery, dairy, potato. Wait a minute. Oh wait, it might be under generators. That's might be what it's, maybe that's where it's at. No? I thought that we had the ability to make the pianos from the premium expansion. Was it that? Am I just losing my mind? Huh. I thought that was a thing. Oh no, there it is right there. Yeah, it's under selling points? Huh. Yeah, no, that's it. That's exactly. But you can build the pianos and be able to kind of go from there. I would love for that to be like a permanent staple in all of factories, to be able to actually have the ability to see the product being made rather than just having pallets and stuff appear. Don't get me wrong, I'll take what I can get. I will take what I can get, but I would love to be able to see what individual modders could do with that kind of ability. That would be insane to me, because I think we'd be able to see some really cool stuff being made. You know, we got the boats in Platinum Edition, we got the roller coaster in Platinum Edition. I could see some really cool stuff being made if modders were granted access to that level of creativity. Oops. There we go. See, I don't think this wind rower picks up all the way out to the edge like I'm expecting it to. Like, I think the edge has to be inside of that wheel there. If it's not inside that wheel, it's not picking it up. So I feel like I'm missing little patches here and there. And that's what I think is happening. There we go. Alright, let's see what everyone's saying so far. Whoops, I just hit my microphone. Benji says, I love making those boats. 100%. That was one of the coolest things. The boats and the roller coaster. Now, it takes forever to do any of them, the boats or the roller coaster, but it was so much fun to do. It made you want to see that progression, to see that next step. It was just really awesome to see that, and I would love for them to really kind of throw that in as something that can be done with the modders, because like I said, I could really see some really awesome stuff being made. I mean, we could even get something ridiculous like actual manufacturing of actual farm equipment. How cool would that be? Having like plows and stuff, like you actually making plows, and like other bits of farm equipment that we could not necessarily be able to use out on the field. It'd still be like a generator, like a sail kind of thing, but that would be pretty slick, you know. Or I don't know, I mean, just insert any of the products that we can make right now. You know, any of the products, I mean, to be able to see some kind of live animation or live kind of building towards would be really kind of cool. You know, imagine if you could see like all the various processes of making things like cheese, or I don't know, like the boards, like the wood boards. You take the tree up to the sawmill, and you actually get to see it load in, just like you did on Silverwood, and you got to see it get in, put into the intake of the belt system, and then once it's going through the intake, then you actually get to see the various different stages of the cutting and sawing process. You know, let's say, oh, I don't know, fabric. You know, turning the cotton into fabric or wool into fabric. The clothes, another good example. You can kind of see those being built up, and you can see the pallets actually growing, kind of thing. That just, again, just small details like that would be amazing to me. I don't know, what do y'all think? Do you think that that would be something that would be cool to see, or is it just me? I think that'd be pretty slick. Let's see. Sven says, you can also adjust the seating position and height too to fit your mirrors better. Ooh, really? It has to be done in the main settings before starting the save game, though. Okay, I'll have to double check that and see how that works. Tuck says they come out with a butcher mod for PC where you can see the pigs. Oh, so you know what? There was a mod I had for a long, long time. Excuse me. There was a mod I had for a very long time, and I ended up deleting because I don't know what part or what it was a part of, but I would come down here all the time to my latter portions of my prices per 1,000 list here, and it would show me all the various cuts of meat that you could take things like your cows and make burger or steaks and lamb chops and things like that. I don't know what it was a part of, what mod it was a part of, but it almost looked like there was a secondary portion, like something else was meaning to be loaded in there. It just never came. So it was one of those,
I always looked forward to seeing that, and I was fearful that it was something that might have been just for PC. And unfortunately, now that kind of seems like you just confirmed it. But I thought that would be that's again another brilliant idea to kind of see not necessarily the butchering process, but just the various like different things that could be done. Like I just think that'd be really cool. It'd just be really really cool to be able to do things like that. It's actually funny. I mean, you said that there, and it just reminded me of like I would always see them. I would always see those as a product, as an output, or a potential output, but never had the ability to actually make it. I would look for it everywhere, and eventually I must have deleted the mod that it was associated to. I have a feeling that it was what was that? Zuddlezocht. I have a feeling that it was a Zuddlezocht mod. That when Zuddlezocht had that issue with the wholesale, I ended up going through and deleting a lot of their mods that I had downloaded onto. Well, that and it was the issue I was having as well, where the premium expansion products weren't showing up because I had too many different outputs, too many different items in the price per 1,000. So it just completely tanked anything that was related to premium expansion. But when I went through and deleted all that, that's when I noticed it being gone. Was when I deleted Zalzag. Now it might have been just a coincidence. I might have deleted other things along with it, but I thought whenever I saw that, I was like, oh, that would be a cool production point, is to be able to take your animals and then have them produced into various stuff. So when you got your animals to adults and they met like a certain size requirement, take them out and have them processed. Now, do I think that giants would necessarily do that? I don't think they would actually do that to actually imply, the animals being processed in such a way. I know. Here's the thing: is I could be wrong. That's just a guess. All right, so we are so close to being able to have another full bale, and I don't think I can pop these round bales out. Yeah, I can't unload it, can I? That is the one thing that drives me nuts about round balers, is that you cannot unload them. It just, if they're not at 100%, they don't unload. Or at least I haven't figured out a way to do it. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to correct me whenever I'm wrong. But I've never seen the ability to unload a partially full round bale. No, it doesn't look like I'm gonna have. Oh wait. There are little patches. Hold on. Ooga ooga. Warning. Ooh, can we find enough? Let's see. Oh, see, there's more. I'm missing all sorts of stuff. It's that first person view. It's just, especially with hay, it blends so well. Yeah, I don't think. Oh, and I got my baler turned off. What am I doing? Ay. There we go. All right, and I actually need to mute the microphone real quick. I will be right back, but I will leave the channel going. Alright, I am back. Sorry about that. The missus was calling me and I had to take it. Let's see, drop that there. No, it's not too far away, so I will struggle and use these things. There we go. Perfect. Now we're going to head out and... Oops, hey. Should check both ways before you just dive into traffic. I've got to get better about that. I am so bad about just playing. This series, I'm specifically trying to... Like I said, not only am I doing the first person, but I'm trying to do better about obeying the traffic rule. Like, not to a ridiculously realistic degree, but, you know, I don't want to have, like, unnecessary crashes and, you know, things like I was doing the last series where I just kind of dive out in the middle of the street and, you know, good luck everybody kind of concept. Let's see, I wanted to unfold this. Now if I remember right, I can adjust these out wide. Good. So let's get to the field here, and then I'll catch back up with the chat, and then we're going to struggle. Then we're going to struggle. All right, so let's get up to this first one here. All right. So we've got Tuck saying, oh, no, wait, I read that one. No, Tuck also said they did the same with the winery and pallet factory. Yes. CS Benji says the quick baler unloads loose. Does it now? Ooh, Benji. I wish I knew that before. Oh. See, this is where it's going to be a struggle, is I can't see where that fork is. There it is. All right, we got one. No, don't, no. See, this is what I'm talking about. The struggle is real. Give it just a little bump, Ooh, okay. Oh dear. Oh, these are not built for these. I thought I had these out as far as they go. Well, at least they're locked, so... Alright, let's do this now. Let's open that. Expand. Alright, well... Alright, now I gotta drive in reverse. Everything's backwards. At least this one I can see a little better. There we go. All right. You can tell I'm really concentrating here because I'm going really quiet. This one. Ha 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 ha! Yes! Locked. Alright. Now let's make our way down the road and not see where we're going. You know, I could probably... Can I lower that? I can. Okay. Hey, I can see where I'm going. Look at me go. Ay, ay, ay. I love it. Alright, so this is going over by the animal dealer, I believe. It's right up. Yeah, okay. I think that's where the animal dealer's at. It's like the livestock bale trade, I think is what it's called. I think we've got like 12, maybe? 12 bales? Let's see. Not quite sure where this is on the map. Like I know it's I can see where the marker is, but I'm just not familiar with the map just yet. Okay, they're turning this way. So I don't know like where the turns are and what like all the kind of telltale points are just yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. Just like with every series, like I was saying in Maple, you know, and that in Maple Farm, love that map. It is a fantastic map, but wow, is it really hard to figure out where you're going. Let's see. It almost looks like back there. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay, cool. And ooh, nice. And all right. Well, look at us go. Here, let's fold that up, fold that up. All right, now, I tell you what, we're doing good. I'm small hiccups here and there, but overall, I don't think we're doing too bad for the first real attempt at like any kind of first person work. I think we're doing okay. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Let's see, and I do see a few comments there, so I'll catch up with them in just a second. Oh, no, 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 brakes. Now, see, that's not my fault. Stop signs. Now, I think there's, is it Zero Ito and potentially a few other map makers, but I think Zero Ito, somehow they get the cars to actually stop at certain points in the spline. I don't know how they do that. I'm not a map maker, so I don't know how all this stuff kind of works in the background. But that's something I wish that more map makers would utilize, is that kind of stall at a stop sign just to kind of, again, that next level layer of realism. I think it's cool. All right, let me pull in here, get lined up, and then we will catch up with the chat. No. Yes. All right, cool. So we've got Benji also says, I also use Forge DLC. Yeah, so I've got the Forge DLC on here as well. Not a whole lot I've actually used from the Forge pack. I think that was one of the more disappointing packs that we got this year. Oh, wow. It's like I actually know what I'm doing. Not really, because look at that nonsense. But I'll take it. Okay, now No. No, no, no. Ugh. Doing all this in reverse is... Oh, come on. Yeah, it's extended. Alright, come on. Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. Okay, one more. No, come on. Come on. Oh, can I trap it? No. Ugh. This is brutal. No, get back here. There we go. Now. Whew, that was a brutal. Oh my goodness. All right, now let's go and sell this off. I think once we're done with this contract, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and hop off because the missus is back, coming back on her way, and going to have to help out with the kiddo, get her ready for lunch and bed. Let's see. How many more bales do I have? I either had 11 or 12 bales in total, I think. But now that I know where the place is, I can just jet right to it. Oh no, I just took out a sign. Didn't even see it. Didn't even see that road sign there. Like one of those, I swear, officer, I didn't see that person. Just, I had a giant bale in my face. I don't think that's going to work. But that's something else that I like about this map as compared to Maypole Farm, is that there was a lot of collisions missing on Maypole Farm, specifically like with light posts and things like that. Now, in one of the updates, Cavalier Roy ended up adding in collisions for the hedges, which I thought that was cool. That definitely made the road networks more necessary to learn. All right, well, a little bit of money there. There we go. All right, let's get one more trip. All right, cool. Let's see. Jay Meister, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. He says, hey, BDD. And then Sven says, hope the rest of your day goes fine, Dave. Was nice. Oh, dear, there's a car right there. It was nice watching you. Take care. You as well, Sven. Thank you so much for stopping in today. Hope you have yourself a wonderful, well, it's got to be getting close to night for you. So hope you have a wonderful night and have a good one. like I said, we're just going to be wrapping up this last contract here, and then we're going to be heading on out because we've got the little one coming home. So going to be spending a little bit of time with her before she goes to bed. So we're going to have to... Oh, there's the evidence of my crimes. Anyways. Alright, let's get this all settled out. See, in the episode there, in episode 1, I ended up working on the... it was a silage contract. And the silage contract gave me these forks as well. These kind of front and rear forks. And personally, I hate them. I can't stand using them. They're a real pain. But... So in that episode there, for sake of time, I ended up renting out a trailer. But I need to stop. I need to actually get used to doing things like this. Alright, let's drop that down. No. There we go. Now let's see if I can get this one. So it looks like it's just these 3 left. Ooh, first time. There we go. All right. Ugh. Aw, man, I was hoping. Oh no, how do I get that to turn back over? I had it locked in there for a second. Did you see that? It's registering that it's in there. Do I try this? Do I... I don't know. This might be a struggle. This might be cheaty, but... You know what? I'm running... No! No! Get back over here! Oh, it was working so good. Oh, dear. No, stop. I do not appreciate you struggling like this. Oh, my goodness. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see. J Meister says, "Oh dear, no, 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 no. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, hey, it popped back up. Let's see if I can actually get this right. Okay, hold on. No, come on. Oh, doing this on the side of the road is not the place to do it. Oh, come on. Yes, fall into it. Yes! Now we're talking. All right. Run, run, run as fast as you can. Holy smokes. That was intense. All right. J Meister says it's doing good. Oh my goodness. Glad to hear that, Jay. Really glad to hear that. Cuz holy smokes, that that was a struggle. I actually have to take a breath from that one. Wow. All right. Well, let's get this over and then let's start winding this down cuz whew. That was a good one. Benji says, hopefully I don't run into anything. TC and hope to find your dream home. I appreciate it, bud. I really do. That's we're searching. We're on the lookout. But hope you have a good one, Benji. Jody says, good job with the bales. Yes. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Because, wow, that was a struggle. Like I said, that's what this series is going to... Whoa. I have a feeling that the thing was too low. Something tells me... Alright, here we go. Nope, wrong button. Yes. Alright. Let's collect. And there we go. Alright, well, we had like 30-some thousand. Now we're up to 51. That's not too bad. We're gonna get there. Just gonna take some time. It's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of work. But all in all, I am happy. But as I mentioned, I think that is where we're gonna leave it. Just so you know, I will be back on streaming later on tonight, likely around 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I will put out notifications for certain when the stream is going to start. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing that shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. Take care.